Hello everyone, my name is Mr.Minh Đức and I am a teacher at IELTS Fighter at the moment. And today I'm back with another video in my series of how to mimic the studying abroad experience right here in Vietnam. And as you guys can probably remember from the last video, I've already shown you the first technique, which is to practice thinking in English, to improve your fluency by translating all of your inner thoughts into English and narrating everything that is happening around you in English. And today I will show you another technique, and I think this technique is very important because one of the main reasons why international students are able to improve their English speaking so much is that they are constantly put in situations in which they have no other options but to speak English, right? For example, if a teacher calls on you in class and asks you to answer a question, you have no other way but to find how to express your ideas in English. Or for example, if you're speaking with a friend and you run into an idea that you don't know how to express or say, you have no other options. You need to find a simpler or another way to express what you are trying to say. And one fatal mistake that Vietnamese students make when practicing speaking English in Vietnam is that they give up too easily. For example, if they run into something they don't know how to say, they will just immediately switch back to Vietnamese. Then it is a very big mistake because it will rob you from your ability to develop a simpler way and a clearer way, or an easier way to say what you are trying to say. So the question now is, how can we simulate this environment where you can only speak English right here in Vietnam? And now I will show you the technique on how to do this. Okay, the technique that I would show you guys today is to form English only speaking group. After the COVID-19 outbreak and after teaching online, I realized how easy it is to form an English speaking group these days. Of course, meeting face to face and practice speaking together would definitely be better. But if you can't find anyone in your proximity or in your city that are willing to practice speaking English with you, then you can always post on forums online to find English speaking partners, right? There are three main steps that I would like to share with you guys today on how to form an effective English speaking group. And the first step is to find the right partner. And I think this is the most important step of the whole process. And this is because your partner can have a huge influence on your motivation when practice speaking English. What I mean is that if you see someone who is trying very hard to express themselves in English, even when they are feeling uncomfortable, then you will feel more motivated to push yourself to speak English. But this is also a double-edged sword, right? Because if you have a partner who constantly switch to Vietnamese, who keeps speaking in Vietnamese when everyone else is trying to speak in English, then it will just defeat or beat the spirit of the whole team. So finding the correct partner is extremely important when you're trying to form an English speaking groups. And the second step is that you guys should decide or determine a host for each speaking session. This is because students normally don't know what to speak about when they are practice speaking English together. So it is important to have a host that will pick the topic of the speaking session for the whole group, so everyone has something to research and talk about during this session. And what I mean here is that the host of the day can pick a movie that all members in the groups are interested in watching, for example, or you can find an article or a piece of news that is trending at the moment, or you can find a book that everyone in the group would like to read. And of course, every members in the group should note down all the important themes or all the details that they find interesting when they are watching the movie or when they are reading this article, so that you guys can talk about these topics when you guys are in the speaking session. Okay, and step number 3, last but not least, is that you guys just speak in English together about the topic that was decided on by the host, right? And as I said earlier, the most important factor of the English only speaking group is that you guys have no other options but to speak English, because this is the studying abroad environment that international students are put in. So you guys have to be very strict and disciplined with yourself and with your group members also. If someone, for example, mistakenly used Vietnamese by accident, then there has to be a punishment or a fine, maybe 20 to 30,000 Vietnamese dong when every time someone speaks Vietnamese, for example. As I said earlier, each member in an English-speaking group has a huge influence on others. So you yourself have to be responsible. You have to be the leader by trying your best to speak English as much as you can, so that you will motivate others in your group to do the same thing. Okay, so that is the first technique, which is to form English-only speaking group, online or face-to-face. Okay, so this is our English-speaking groups, and I will be the host for today's session. So I just picked a topic that is a movie that I'm sure that both of you, or maybe just everyone, has watched already, right? Which is Avengers Endgame. Yeah, and let's just share on what is our favorite scene from the movie. So yeah, so Quỳnh, which was your favorite scene in that whole movie?
Wow, it's really hard for me because the whole movie is
so many good scenes, right?
Yeah, it's like an epic movie, and I think that the scene that is very memorable for me personally, I think it's the scene where all the women Avengers like assembled together and trying to protect the Spider-Man when he trying to get
the Infinity Gauntlet,
to the Trump plan, I guess.
Yes.
And that scene makes me feel like, oh, there's a little bit of, you know, women empowerment in the movies.
Because I feel like when we were growing up, we only see guys as superheroes. We don't really get to see women as superheroes, right? So I guess it's nice for like you already like, well, I always say you already grew up already, but I think it's even more important for like young kids or young girls to see that women can also be superheroes, right? What about you? What do you think is your favorite scene?
I think for me and to most people in the world, it is like the big fight, the eventual fights that when Captain America, he was grabbing the hammer, and then like the audience in the movie theater was like screaming like yes, like finally I predict that happens, and I think and the most or the coolest saying of Captain America is like
Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, Avengers Assemble.
Yeah,
and then
that scene got me goosebumps every time I watched it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's cool because it's kind of a throwback to Avengers Age of Ultron, right? Because we saw that Thor was kind of worried that that Captain, he might be able to lift it. So that was like foreshadow in the past, and now we actually get to see the scene, right?
Like he almost like got the hammer.
So now like we are asking ourselves if like Captain America was faking it to save Thor's face, or he wasn't able to lift it at that point, right? And from my point of view, I think the scene that I like the most is the scene happened right after the scene that you mentioned earlier, which is when all the heroes who died show up through the portals, Doctor Strange, and I just like that because we witnessed Hook snap to bring everyone back, but because everything after that happened so quickly, like they were bombing the whole headquarters, and then Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man were fighting Thanos. So we just completely forgot that thing happened already, you know. So when everyone came through, we were like, yes, that's the moment that happened. So now we see all the heroes together, and that was obviously amazing to be able to see so many heroes on the big screen together. Okay. All right. So as you can see, you can pick any topics. It can be a movie, a music video, or whatever trend that is popular at the moment to talk about, whatever you feel comfortable to talk about, as long as you guys are using English. So from my perspective, being a good English speaker basically just means that you can express your opinions and your ideas clearly and effectively. And I think one of the most valuable experience that an international student can get to improve their English is listening to their classmates voice their opinions, voice their answers in class. Because in a classroom setting, students tend to discuss about very complex themes and topics on academic subjects. So if you listen to good native speakers who can voice their opinion eloquently and effectively, and you try to learn from them and try to mimic them, then that would be very helpful for you to improve your English speaking. So now, how can we find an environment in which native speakers voice their opinions regularly and clearly so that we can learn from them right here in Vietnam? And the way to do this from my perspective is that you can browse comments on social media. Okay, and the social media that I will use today is called Reddit. On Reddit, people write very lengthy comments about a wide range of topics. So you can pick up vocabularies ranging from casual vocabulary to academic vocabulary, depending on the topics that you are looking at. And now, in order to help you guys imagine easier what it's like, how can we learn English from browsing comments on the social media, I will have a small demonstration for you guys. Okay, so now I will show you guys how you can learn new vocabulary and new expressions in English by browsing this app. Okay, so now here's my phone. As you guys, so now I will enter the Reddit app for you guys. So here, for example, this is the icon of the app. You click on it, and now I'm reading a thread on a very, I would say, casual question, which is, why are you single? Okay, and a person, the first commenter say, I don't know how to be in a relationship. Okay, so you can learn the word relationship, which means mối quan hệ in Vietnamese, right? The next comment is much longer, so you have more opportunity to learn English in this comment. Here I will show you, for example, what you can learn from this comment. For example, the commenters say, I have no idea how to express interest to any of the women I have ever been interested in. So I just end up becoming friends with them, and the crush eventually goes away and I start over at square one. Okay, in this comment I already saw 3 very cool expressions in English. The first one is end up. End up is a phrasal verb, right? And phrasal verb is very crucial, and it will be very helpful for you if you can use phrasal verb correctly when you're in an IELTS speaking exam room. For example, the person say, I just end up becoming friends with my crush. End up meaning in Vietnamese here, nghĩa là tôi đã trở thành bạn với crush của mình, mặc dù là không muốn, kiểu như vậy, đúng không nào? And the crush eventually goes away. Goes away also is another phrasal verb. You guys can see that native speakers like to use phrasal verb a lot when they express their ideas, and it is a very natural way to speak English. Okay, so they say the crush eventually goes away. Goes away means here to biến mất, nhạt dần đi, right? And the last one, which I like the best out of all these 3, I start over at square one. I start over at square one, meaning square one dịch ra tiếng Việt thì có nghĩa là ô số 1, đúng không nào? Meaning here, start over at square one means you start back at 0, quay về con số 0, kiểu như vậy, đúng không nào? Okay, here are very cool expressions, very natural English expressions in English that you can learn when you are browsing this app. And as I mentioned earlier, Reddit has countless, endless subtopics that you can browse, ranging from casual subtopic like the one that I'm reading at the moment, or even academic subtopics that you can learn more advanced words that you can apply in your IELTS writing task 1 or task 2, my bad, for example. So here I have a very casual thread that I just showed you guys. Now I will show you a more academic subreddit or subtopic that you can look at to improve your advanced vocabulary for IELTS writing. So I'm looking at world news at the moment, and as you guys probably know, there are a lot of riots or protests in the United States right now regarding the murder of George Floyd, a black man in the United States, right? So this article is about that, and the title is Dallas man lose eye to non-lethal police round during George Floyd protest, attorney says. And it's linked to an article. So right from the title, you can learn the words like non-lethal police round, which refer to the weapons supposed to be non-lethal, meaning not dangerous to protester, right? But this man lost an eye because he was shot in the eye by these non-lethal weapon. And you can learn the word protest, which is biểu tình in Vietnamese, right? So if you guys want to read the article, you can click on the link and read the article. So it's loading at the moment. It's linked to CBS News, which is a pretty big newspaper, online newspaper in the United States. So here, as you can see, you can read the article also. But if you don't want to read an article, but just reading the comments, for example, here's a first comment that pops up. Want to do something actionable to help hold police accountable? Just in the first sentence, you can learn two very advanced words, actionable and accountable, right? Actionable means có thể hành động ngay lúc này in Vietnamese, and accountable means bắt ai đó phải chịu trách nhiệm cho hành động của mình, right? The next sentence, 740 plus of us are working on a new project called the Police Data Accessibility Project, aimed at making local court record data. Aim at here meaning với mục tiêu là, right? If a student would say because we want to do something, but aim at is a more advanced way to express this idea. So as you guys can see, just from reading one comment, I already pick up 3 new ways to express ideas in English. Just imagine you browsing Reddit for maybe 30 minutes to an hour a day. From my experience, I'm browsing about 1 hour a day on Reddit. Imagine how many new words, how many new vocabulary you can learn if you are actively trying to learn when you are browsing this social media. Okay, so today I just show you guys 2 more techniques to mimic the studying abroad experience right here in Vietnam for Vietnamese students. I will summarize for you guys one more time the 2 techniques that I show you today. One is to form English-only speaking groups. And remember, you guys have to be strict with yourself and very disciplined. Force yourself to speak English and find alternative way to express your ideas if you don't know how to say what you are trying to say. Okay, and the second is to use a social media platform that I introduced to you guys today, which is Reddit. Try to browse different threads, ranging from casual threads to more academic threads, to pick up a wide range of vocabularies to include in your arsenal of vocabularies where you can use in your English speaking and English writing, specifically IELTS speaking part 2, part 3, or even IELTS writing task 2. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
IELTS Fighter, tiên phong phổ cập IELTS cho người Việt.